Okay, here we are with Vengefly King, the very first boss in the entire Pantheon. Now, this boss can actually be a little bit difficult, especially because you're not always paying attention, it being the first boss in a 45-minute run. But the main strategy here is when they swoop down, you down pogo on their head, which is just pressing down on the D-pad and attacking, and it's called pogoing because you sort of do a little bounce up in the air. That was an Abyss Shriek, which is the hardest hitting spell in the game. To do this boss quickly is you dash after them and do a spell called Abyss Shriek there. As we move into Gruz Mother, we can play it safe, which is just stand on a platform and make sure that we're out of its smashing up and down on the ceiling, or we can chase after it and try and attack it to make the fight go quicker. And when it's stationary again, when we're not falling in spikes, we can do an Abyss Shriek, which is again the hardest hitting spell in the game. I think this is almost a complete guess, but I think it does maybe 6 or 7 normal attacks from your sword, the equivalent of. False Knight is a pushover boss which helps us get soul back, which is our mana in the very top left there. So when it's staggered, we can go over to it and use the Dream Nail, which, as you can see, charges up our soul again, and some bosses allow us to do that. So you see we're using it again and we get some soul back, and now as the fight ends, I'm using my soul to get health back, which is the masks there, the 9 masks. It's very simple gameplay in Hollow Knight, so you've pretty much learned all we need to know so far. Massive Moss Charger is a bit of a meme boss. It can jump over you, or it can just charge straight towards you, and if you get the rhythm down, there you go, he's already dead, because when you hit him with the nail he'll get pushed back, so if you get the rhythm down he can't reach you and you can just attack him till he's dead. So we're at full health, we've got pretty much full soul. As we move into Hornet. Now Hornet in this version, this is Hornet 1, isn't too difficult. I'll be talking about the bosses that I'm worried about dying on. I'm not worried about dying on any of these fights at the moment. But generally we're just dodging attacks, we're hitting when we can, we charge up a nail art there, which is a big attack, which we can charge up when enemies are staggered. We've got a spinning attack, we've got a big great slash, things like that. So Hornet's already dead, we're healing up again. Now we're going to have to talk about Gorb. Now Gorb is quite an annoying fight. You've already seen pretty much the gist of it. I'm kind of going fast because I want to obviously do this quickly because I've done it so many times before. But basically, he stays in the air, shoots out these little yellow needle things, and you just dodge them and then go after him. This is Dung Defender. If I had soul right now I could do a spell called Descending Dark, but you'll to get him out of the tunneling phase, but you'll see that in a second. So every time you attack you get soul. As you can see, I use the Descending Dark there, does a bit of damage on him and just makes the fight go a bit quicker. So generally we're just dodging through. When you dash, you have invincibility frames just like Dark Souls when you roll. And just watch out for, you'll see that a lot. When my character goes black and all void looking. Some of the times, because the iframes need to recharge, I'll be invincible. This is Soul Warrior. We do a not a Descending Dark, but an Abyss Shriek at the start there as he's up in the air. He spawns little ghosts, and we just need to dodge his attacks. So there you go, see the invincibility frames, we can dash right through him. So there's only 3 spells in the game. There's Abyss Shriek, which is the massive one that hits up in the air. There was that one there, which I actually can't remember the name of, but it's just like a big Kamehameha type attack. And then there's the Descending Dark, which is a massive slam on the ground. Budowing Moloch is a fight that's always kind of scary, even though there's no pressure of dying to him. He just spits out these little orange globules, and well, you have to dodge his little spiky hands there. These fights go so quickly that I can't actually talk about all the things they do. So this just looks like a cakewalk, but obviously you have to practice each boss. This is Neilmaster Oro, and just in a second, as we do an Abyss Shriek as he's up in the air, his brother's going to come down. This is a fight I used to have quite a lot of difficulty with, but now I'm comfortable with it enough to just spam spells. So I'm doing Abyss Shrieks and Descending Darks, or D-Darks as I would call them, as much as possible, just to get as much damage out to make the fight quicker. But as you can see, I'm already at 2 masks of health, so 2 more hits and I'm dead and I need to start again. But that's one brother down, and we can do an Abyss Shriek when he's up in the air. That's all my mana gone, because obviously spells take up your mana, or a soul as it's called. And then we do a little bow. As you can see, I was at 1 mask there, but that's nothing to worry about, because we are at our little resting spot, which we get in the middle of Pantheons and at the very end. Those are my charms there, which you see I replaced one charm that made my nail, which is the weapon, go longer, with a health charm, so I got 2 more masks. I'll talk about the blue masks next time we see them. This is Zero, which I hate this fight. It's pretty simple, you probably already got the gist of it, but he's sending out these white swords, and you have to dodge them as you have to platform on these 3 platforms. But the fight's already over, so we don't have to deal with Zero anymore. This is Crystal Guardian, one of the simplest fights in the game. You can jump up in the air to avoid his lasers, or you can make use of your Shadow Dash and invincibility right through him. And he's already dead. This is Soul Master. Not nearly as intimidating as the other version. So all bosses in Hollow Knight, I think it's all. Sorry, not all at all. But they have different versions, and they're called Dream bosses. That's a harder version of the fight. So as you can see, Soul Master is already dead, which is fine, because we're talking more about his attacks and abilities and how we deal with them when we see him later on, near the end of the Pantheon. So this is a cool trick that I learned. When he's doing this dash down, you can actually jump up and hit him, and enemies go orange whenever they take damage, whenever you hit them. So we do so much damage that these fights just go so quickly, so we don't have to worry about it. What makes this challenge so hard, not only is it the hard bosses at the end, but just getting through all these first bosses, it's a bit of a grind. Oblobos used to kill me a lot, because it can be quite hectic, but as long as you group them up together in Abyss Shriek, both of them, that by the time one is dead, the other enrages. But because we've already done a lot of damage on both of them, that one will just die, so we don't have to worry about the enrage so much. Now this is the first proper fight. Right now it begins as Mantis Lords, where we just fight one of them. But as you'll see soon, it changes into a different fight completely. You'll have already seen this on my YouTube channel, but it's just good to talk about it. So that's 1 dead. Now instead of fighting 2, we fight all 3. And it becomes the Sisters of Battle fight. Now, not to toot my own horn, because I'm terrible at some other bosses, but this fight is fairly easy for me. I don't know if it's because it's there's a lot of it's a structured fight. It looks quick, but as long as you can always tell what to do, because as soon as you see them spawn, you just have to jump out the way and attack. So basically I'm saying don't get hit and kill the boss. There's a little tactic that I've taken to using to get this fight done quicker, which is when they're up on the little wall there, we can use an Abyss Shriek to do a lot of damage on both of them. So it's up on the wall, we Abyss Shriek, and that's 1 dead already. So as long as we watch them spawning, we can move out of the way. It does get quite hectic and sometimes I'm near death, but there's another one dead, a Bishriek. I think I go overboard here, just trying to get it done as soon as possible. So it's jump and then attack and he's dead. Or she's dead, I should say. And we're at the next resting point, and I can talk about lifeblood. So when you beat a Pantheon with a certain amount of bindings, so there was 4 Pantheons before this, if you beat it with, I think, I don't know, you have to do a certain amount of bindings, and eventually when you do that you unlock a door called the Lifeblood Chamber, which unlocks these blue masks in this Pantheon, which just makes it a little bit easier. That fight there was really annoying. It just bounces all around the room and you need to kill it as soon as possible. I'm getting a bit behind here, but this is Flukmarm, a fight that was once scary, but because we've got so much damage we can just make a real mess of it here. But Abyss Shrieking until it's dead. What it does is it spawns all those little creatures. Right, let's get back up to Broken Vessel. This fight is a bit like Hornet that we've seen before, in that it just dashes about the room. It's a fairly simple boss, but we're jumping over, hit, and as it's doing its crazy attack there we can get a lot of damage in, as long as we don't take too much damage in the process. I don't feel like I explained the Lifeblood's masks very well, so I'll attempt that on the next time we see them. This is Galleon. Now this fight can be good or it can be terrible. This one you'll see is terrible. So I'm trying to Abyss Shriek to do as much damage as possible. I'm supposed to be dodging through the safe with my invincibility frames, but I just want to get it over so quickly that I'm not even... well, I am attempting it, but I just fail. So healing up there before the next fight begins. Should have dodged through the safe, but I didn't and just took a lot of damage. This is Paintmaster's Shield, a really cool fight. As you'll see, its attacks are colour based, so yellow one is a big strike, which is an easy one to learn. What have we got? Blue one, standard down attack. The pink one is a cool one. You can wait for him to slash down on the ground and then dash in to get some attacks off. It's a cool fight, but a lot of people say you're not at risk of dying because he's got such a low amount of health, which I'm sure you'll see in a second. I still get hit, but I'm not paying as much attention because we're not even halfway through the Pantheon yet. So there's the yellow one again. Jump and dash over it. Make room for the red attack, and he's dead. So the Lifebloods again, there's 4 Pantheons before you unlock this Pantheon, the Pantheon of Hallownest. If you do a certain amount of bindings, which are debuffs, so if you do the binding of the nail, that's your weapon, you'll do less damage. If you do the binding of charms, you don't get to use any charms. If you use binding of soul, you'll have less soul to work with. If you do a certain amount of them, which just makes the Pantheons harder, you unlock the Lifeblood Chamber, and that gives you extra masks which help you every time we get to a bench. I'm sure you get it. Okay, so we're at Hive Knight. Not too much a fan of that fight. It's easy to get hit by all this stuff there, but we don't really care because we're moving on to Elder Who, which is a very simple fight. You'll send down these orange cylinders and you just need to dodge them. We can dodge in the middle or just play it safe and shadow dash through because we'll have our invincibility. So there you go, dash through. Just need to get the rhythm down and jump up and attack him. You can do it really quickly if you just jump and attack, like just really quickly on your controller. But sometimes he can be a little bit annoying. But there, he's dead. The next fight will be the Collector, where he just jumps around the room and these jars will fall down with enemies in them. I don't really like this fight, it's just a bit boring. As you can see, he just jumps about and you have to go around and smash these jars. Thankfully, because our nail our weapon is so strong, we can really just kill them in one hit. So there, they spawn and we attack them. And he should be dead pretty soon. There, he's dead there. So, a little recap, we're at full health and pretty much full soul, going into the next fight. This is a fight I had a lot of difficulty on. It's the fight that you first encounter in the Colosseum of Fools, or whatever that last trial is called now, God Tamer. I just had a lot of difficulty dealing with the big bug there. He'll spit out these orange globules. I'm kind of just spamming through it all to do it as quick as possible. This is a terrible fight that you're seeing here, but I'm just trying to do it as quick as possible. Heal up, so 1, 2, 3, used the first half of my soul to heal up 3 masks. As we go into Troopmaster GRIMM, the easier version of Nightmare King GRIMM. So we're dodging over these little dragon flame things, and in a second you'll see a very nice skip we can do. So if we play a bit risky, we can just stand there in Abyss Shriek and do massive amounts of damage, and then go and do what we're supposed to do, which is jump over those little fiery ball things. So we do it normal here, jump, jump, jump. We just need to keep an eye on the ones where we need to do a double jump over, and then we can hit them there, which is quite nice. Jumping over the flames, and again, 1, 2, and we just need to. This fight is quite nice because he'll do something and then you need to react. It's quite like a dance, and that's the whole theme of it. You're like dancing with him. He's the Troopmaster of the circus that came to town. So here we are again at our resting spot. This is us halfway through this. Oh god, I can't remember now if it's a second or third Pantheon, because it gets a little bit confusing at times. Right, now this fight was very hard when I was playing the original game. This is Watcher Knights. It can still get out of control, but it's never really one that's going to end your run. So when things do get out of control is when you don't kill each one fast enough. It's a bit like 4 kings in Dark Souls. So we want to kill this as fast as possible, because the next one's spawning. Only 2 will spawn at a time, but it is just a lot easier if you are fighting one-on-one, so you don't have to deal with both of them. So this one is going fairly well. We're getting a lot of damage out on the ones that's already spawned, so that'll be dead as the next one is up. But when I was originally doing this, I didn't hit as hard. It was just, you always had to fight both Watcher Knights at the same time. We're dashing away as he attacks. The invincibility frames really are a game changer. You can just dodge through attacks. We're done with Watcher Knights, and we're moving on to the first fight that I'd say was a run killer. So this is where you start to pay attention. This is Umu. Now, what we want to do is have a lot of soul here, and I'm hit already. This is where you start to feel like, oh god, am I going to have to start again? Because this fight for me can just go really badly. The whole thing of this is that he's invulnerable until you smack a jellyfish into him, which will explode and take away his shield. And you need to wait for the jellyfish to get in the right position, and a good tactic is, it didn't actually work there, so forget that, but we want to dream nail him to get more soul, jumping away from his the attacks that happen every so often. The scary one is this one, where it follows you. Now this is okay, we actually got him there. It's not the best Umu in the world, but I don't think it's a really painful one. I tried to dream nail him, but it's hard because you don't want to hit again. And what do we end up doing here? There's a jellyfish right under him, so there, it does work. I don't know if I've talked about that spell, but it's just like a Kamehameha sort of spell. I can't remember the name of it for some reason, but that's like your most basic attack. So you've got a Descending Dark, Abyss Shriek, and that other one. This is NOSK, a very scary fight when I was first doing it, but this is a very good one because we entered the fight with a lot of soul, so we were able to start with 2 Abyss Shrieks, which take a lot of health from him. Now, you'll get the gist of this fight before it ends, but what we want to do is deal with these orange ghost things that appear. The difficulty is when he jumps down, his hitbox is so big that you can still get hit, so he'll dash, and if you don't do it right, you can get hit by his wing. This one's a scary attack. The scariest one is when he shoots out stuff like that, you have to dodge in between and then up in the attack. I'll just call those blasts, I can't remember the name. But we can blast him as he goes, and some bosses get hit for 2. If they're moving back, it'll hit him once, he'll move back and hit him again. I'll try and point out that more. Now, this I'd say is the first. It used to be, well, let's take that back. It used to be the first fight that I would really die on quite a lot. This is us ending the 3rd Pantheon now. So this is Great Nail Sage Sly. And he's very fast, as you can see. This used to be just like, how do you do this? But what you want to do is bait out this attack here, where he does 1, 2, and then spin. I'll show you that again. That's a big one that does 2 masks of damage. So 1, 2, spin, and then hit. You want to get very quick hits in as you dash. So there's an attack there. 1, 2, dash. 1, 2, hit. And then we heal up as he's staggered. You can down pogo off that attack, or you can actually just wall jump until he's done, which is I only learned recently. I've been trying to down pogo him all this time. That's good that I dashed through that big attack there, because I would have lost 2 masks of health. Now this is a weird phase, this last one, where you have to dash out and sort of run back in to hit him, and it doesn't always go to plan, especially because right now I'm using a build that makes my weapons shorter, but things actually go not too bad. So you can see there, he dashes all around the room. Now we can dream nail him for extra soul, and we heal up 1 mask. Now this is the fight here. This is where it starts to get hard. I would say this is the first fight where it's like, I could actually die here, because I have died in the past. I don't know if I've said that for the past 3 fights, but this is definitely one. This is the last version of Hornet, so we seen her earlier. I don't think this one's too bad. If you need to just play it safe, because if you get a bit too confident, you can start to lose a lot of health. As you can see, I'm already losing a lot, but she's staggered, so I can heal up 2 masks. The whole gameplay of Hollow Knight is very simple. We're just dodging or dashing through. The reason this fight is hard is, well, because I keep running into those fucking things, but she's already dead, okay. If the fight goes on much longer, it can get hectic because she spawns those spiky ball things there, which make it harder to jump around. You have to knock them out of the air with your sword. So we're continuing the same build. This Enraged Guardian is the dream version, the harder version of the boss that we've seen before. He's quite scary. I don't know if I actually managed to do this without getting hit, but there, I jumped into it because I panicked. That one will do 2 masks of damage, so I've already lost 2 of my temporary blue masks. Okay, we are really reaching the end game now. This is Lost Kin, which can all go to shit if you don't play well. This is where I start to think, right, I actually need to start playing the game now, because he has a lot of health and he'll always land on you. So you can see you're trying to dodge those things, but we've got because these orange ghost things spawn so much, we get a lot of soul, which I should have said, when you attack things, that's how your soul goes up. But because they spawn so regularly, we have a lot of soul to work with, which means we can just fire off spells, but we don't want to fire off too many because we need to keep soul to heal at the end of this. But this one actually went quite fast, so we're healing 3, which was half of our soul. And this is perhaps one of the scariest fights in the Pantheon. This is No Eyes, a very hard version of the fight compared to what you fight in the normal game. These ghosts can spawn very quickly and they'll knock you into the thorns, and that should take 2 massive damage straight away. No Eyes will teleport around the room. We down pogo on there, jump up, hit 1, 2, and we need to dodge the ghosts. We're trying to see if we can hit her there, but we can't. I've never went for when she's down there because it looks too risky to me, so we get a nice 1, 2, 3 down pogos. That's a tricky situation. We need to dash out. This can all go to shit really quickly, but as long as we're fast enough. No Eyes is dead. Now I can't stress enough that this is where I'm really sat up and focusing, because that is not a good way to start Traitor Lord. I dash right into him and take 2 massive damage straight away. This is another fight that does 2 massive damage, so it's not as scary as it looks. When he does that attack, you dash through, or he goes up in the air and you just have to move a little bit out. He'll move back and dash through those white shockwave things. This perhaps looks easy, but when you're this far into a run, you can lose a lot of health very quickly. I've talked about Dung Defender before, but this is White Defender, the Dream version. Has a lot more health, does a few extra spells. I don't know if I actually took the time to talk about my build. I use a very common build, which is a sort of like a battle mage. So my charms are set up so that my attack is stronger using a charm called Unbreakable Strength. I attack very quickly using Quick Slash. That allows us to do a lot of melee damage, but at the same time I'm using a charm that makes my spells hit harder, and they're bigger as well. So I've been making this fight quicker recently by trying to get as much Abyss Streaks off up when he's up in the air like that. And White Defender is dead. So when you see that white tree, you know things are getting serious. This is Soul Tyrant. This is a very quick boss that signifies, for the last time, where things get hard. So a lot of the time you're just moving around trying to reach him before he teleports away. That's probably the hardest spell to deal with, because you can do like little fake outs where you think he's going to hit the ground, but he actually doesn't, and you need to figure out what to do so as not to get hit. You need to adapt. Like that, he could not have done that downward. There, he does it there, that's a fake out, and you need to like dash back in. So we're trying to hit him while avoiding the lightning balls. That was an easy downward smash. Let's try and talk about it as it goes. So he does that attack there. We try and Abyss Shriek because I think we get invincibility frames when we do it. He's dead, so we can charge up a nail art, which I can't remember if I've talked about it in this commentary yet, but they're just big attacks that you have to charge up. He flies across the room. I always try and get 2 hits in there, but it doesn't always work. It's a bit of an awkward position, so jump. It's a very risky, but jump and dash through the electricity balls. Lightning balls. There's a fake out. Okay, so I haven't quite managed to get that trick down for this version of the fight, as I did with the Soul Master version of this fight, which is to jump up and attack him while he's in the air, because he's just so fast. I haven't managed to do it yet. But we've dodged him, and now he's stopped and just throwing lightning balls at us. Thankfully, I don't think I got hit, which means we move into Markov, the most hated boss, and the one that would end literally 95% of my runs up until I got comfortable with him just a few days ago. So we're talking like endgame now. I pause it to put my headset on, to hear his attacks, and start to focus up. So it might look easy, but this fight literally killed me all the time. So the thing is here, how to explain it, you want to be very careful and just, like if you're running about all over the place, this is going to get very hectic. But the strategy that most people adopt is to stay on one platform and dodge the swords. My problem was that I'd always get hit by the shields that's spinning around him. Even when I tried to dash in and dash out, I'd always get hit, and other people just wouldn't for some reason. But I've learned to time it a little bit better. Everybody says that the main thing here is to be very patient. So we're dodging the swords at the moment. Now the swords have gone. When the shield is over like that, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 down pogos, which is a very good attack. I don't know why I did that dash there. This is his second phase. The whole strategy of this is to use spells as much as possible while he's in this phase to make it as short as possible. But I always panic, especially because I didn't always have enough soul, so I'd have to just try and wing it and attack him through 2 shields. But Markov is dead. Now this was actually a pretty mediocre one for how good I was able to get it recently. But what really killed me is Markov, and I'd have such little health going into Zolt, the Grey Prince Zolt, powerful and beautiful. Again, this is what would kill most of my runs, which would be Markov. He was difficult enough, but then you got the chaos of this. So I've already been hit, what is that, twice? That would have killed me back in just a few days ago. I was going to say back in the day because I've been doing this for so long. Zolt is very chaotic, and these little things here can do 2 massive damage. Basically his thing is that he does a shockwave every time he jumps. So these ghosts here do 2 massive damage. What has really helped me on this fight is, I'll show you in a second, when he disappears like there, we do a descending dart to get invincibility frames and do a little bit of damage to him as well. So attacking the little Zotlings that spawn just jumps right on you. Descending dart, invincibility, attack him through it, heal up. He's jumping about all over the place. This attack used to screw me up all the time because I was never good at downpour going until kind of recently. But you downpour go on him and then jump on his head. I can't believe I actually did that without getting hit. Get hit there because I was trying to heal up. Jump over. Do we get another descending dart? There he is, you can hear it, descending dart coming down. And I get hit here, 2 massive damage. I'm like, am I going to die here? Descending dark. But Zolt is dead. This means that the run is truly activated. We are moving into, well, before the big one, we're going to Field Champion. A stronger version of False Knight. Now, I used to never get past Markov and Zolt. So you can imagine when I first did it and then died instantly to this guy because he does 2 massive damage each hit. But God, when I first got here I was like shaking. this is scary as well, because if you mistime it, things don't go well. Basically what I'm doing here is, if I didn't know this, if I didn't know to do this, I don't know if I'd actually complete the Pantheon, because what I'm doing, let's talk about it again when he does it next, but we move off to the side while he goes crazy, we attack him, dash through, already 2 massive damage taken, but we're dream nailing him, healing up, and then when you down pogo on him there, that resets his stagger time. So there, did it again, we heal up. Am I going to go for another one? Yep, that's more soul. So basically, if you get him down once, stagger him once, you can get back up to full health, which is a godsend, because you can reset his stagger. Which must be intended, because I don't know how you do Markov, Zote, and then that. But we're at full health and full soul going into the big boy. So we're here at a boss that used to terrify me. This is Nightmare King GRIMM. Now, I've done a lot of practice on it, so it's no longer as scary, but this is a fight that does 2 massive damage every hit. So things can just, especially because your nerves, remember this is what, don't know how long, but it's approaching like 35 minutes or 40 minutes in. So let's talk about the spells that he does. That's a harder version of the flames, that you need to jump, dash, and then land just as the last flame comes out. He's in his intermission there, so we can try and hit him, but it's very quick. There's no way we want to do that skip where we Abyss Shriek him with this, because that would just do 2, 4, 6 damage instantly. Jump, dash, and then hit him. That's another scary downward dash. So this is the thing we want to do here. I kind of screwed this one up, but that is the attack that we want to see, because it allows us to do an Abyss Shriek. And I'll try and explain it when I see it again, but basically it's doing little steps to make it move slowly, and then you hit him when it's doing the 3rd beam, and then do an Abyss Shriek on the 4th, and the aim is so that it doesn't hit you. So if we see it again, I'll tell you about it. So we do 1, 2, jump up on the 3rd, Abyss Shriek at the end there. Each beam will do 2 massive damage, remember. We're at full health, so we can try and get 2 hits in there. Dash out the way. Something that helped me a lot on this fight was simply saying, okay, is he close to me? And if he was on the ground and close to me, I'd dash away and then get ready for the fireballs that he throws out up in the air afterwards. I've only recently gotten comfortable enough to actually have a little cheeky hit on him. Oh, that's a difficult position. You don't want to be at the edge of the map. So there's the flames again. Jump and dash through. I don't get hit by those anymore. They used to terrify me, those spikes that come out of the ground. 1, 2, 3, hit, Abyss Shriek, and he's dead. It's because our Abyss Shriek does so much damage with the Shaman Totem, it's called, I think. The one that does a lot of, makes spells hit harder. Now, we are changing it, our entire build, for a health healing build. This makes us heal quicker, or sorry, it makes us heal 2 massive damage every time we heal. This is because you know what's coming up, the very last boss, and we want to be as safe as humanly possible. This is where it starts to feel like crazy, because you know you're like reaching the top of the Pantheon, because we're fighting Pure Vessel. Now this is a fight that used to make me rage, but really I need to toot my own horn here, because I've gotten so comfortable with this fight that I just do it for fun. But don't let that fool you, because this used to make me cry. As you can see, he's very fast, but the secret that I learned was to always keep your distance from him, but not so far as he's off the screen, because as you can see, the whole thing is distance and jumping. So we dash through. He still does massive damage though, but I'm comfortable enough with this now to even do little down pogos when he's when the swords are coming out of the ground there. So it's all about well-timed dashes. This is like Dark Souls shit right here, but on crack. Dash through. It's very fast. I don't know if I can even like explain it one by one, but let's try it for the next one. So we want to keep our distance, jump out of the way and down pogo on his head. Wait a second before we dash through that, otherwise it'll be too quick. On his head, he's staggered. When that little blade shined there, that was his parry, so if you hit him, he's going to hit you instantly back. Now he's doing his big attack, which means he's almost at the end of the fight. It's going really quickly, I don't know if I can even talk about it all. Dash out of the way of that. He's staggered again. He's parried me there. Dash through that. I want to show you another dagger. Jump out, I get hit. But he's dead. Now, that used to terrify me, that fight. But I'm going to talk about this fight that's coming up. And then I'm going to just be quiet to let you hear the end. Because and I'm getting goosebumps as I remembered it. I think I've gotten to Absolute Radiance like 6 times in my proper runs. Almost killed him. This is Absolute Radiance, welcome. So, we don't do as much damage and we don't attack as fast, but that's all worth it because we want to heal in this fight. Look at these fucking swords. Let's try and talk about each thing. So we dash through these. 1, 2, 3. We need to be quick because his next one is already charging up. 1, jump over and dash through. In between those swords, remember this is at the end of the bloody Pantheon, so we're dashing through that. 1, 2, there's this light thing, we dash through that. Now that's a very hard one to dodge, but as you can see, the greatness of this build is that we heal very quickly and we heal 2 massive damage. This is where I'm like, is this all over? Am I going to have to start from the very beginning again? 1, 2. The best thing to do with these is to, look at this, is to dash on the ground, because if you jump up in the air to avoid them, they're going to follow you. So we dash through the big beam. This is difficult because we can't really make use of our dash because of the extra spikes on the ground there. But we heal 1, 2. This is actually a very poor phase 1 and phase 2. Because, okay, so we dash through there. Those beams are terrible, but they never spawn in the same place twice, so if you get hit, you can always return to the space that it was last in. I'm at 3 mass. If I get hit twice more, I'm done with this Pantheon. But if I just play it safe, we can get hit by the beam again. This is 1 more hit. Heal up, 2 masks. Now I'm at 5. This is going into transition to the main phase. So we jump up, and dodging these swords. You don't want to get hit here. Now, this is the greatness of this build. I'm at full health again. If I was doing more damage, I would have already been dead. Right, the Void tried to grab him, but he's not going to have it. He teleports away. This is phase, this is what you just seen, but now we dash into a beam for some reason. Now, we have to dodge through this beam quickly because he's already charging up his next attack. I'm taking lots of damage, and when you fall through that void at the bottom of the floor, you're like, this is it. Dodge through the light wall. Heal up, dodge again because we need to watch for him. He's off the screen. This is perfect. Look where he is now. Dodged, getting hit by every beam, which is sad, but we manage it. Look at all those good hits. If I was doing a very quick build using the quick slash, I would have got so much damage off, but it's not worth it for me. I want to heal up quickly. Now, I get hit by literally every single beam here, and again, this is 1 more hit and I'm dead. I'm thinking this is over. Again, this is not a strong Radiance fight. It just happened to be the one where we got it. So, it's hard to see where these swords are coming from, but we just need to be patient. This is what this build is all about. We don't want to chase them. Beams, can we dodge one? We dodge another. Descending Dark is perfect there, because we can dodge right through. Now, we're reaching the top, and I'm just going to be quiet now so we can appreciate what's happening. I was breathing really heavily at this point. Am I going to lose all my health? People lose all their health on this claim. They track you very, very well. Now, we want to... This is crazy to me when I first did this, but you can either downpull, go on his head, or just play it safe and jump around. I was breathing like this. Check my health out, right? Watch my health. One more hit and I'm dead. Jumping over, hit. Jump over it. Jump over. That's all we need to do is just jump over and it's ours. Hit. That almost hit us. And we've got it. And the true void comes out to absolutely destroy the absolute radiance. So thank you for watching that commentary. I hope you enjoyed. It was very fun to go back through and just talk about that little journey there. Definitely the hardest thing I've done in gaming. People have done a lot more crazy things, but yeah, you just gotta blah 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 blah. Okay, thank you for watching.